With Bridgerton 3 Part 1 now streaming, many eye-popping outfits have flooded the screens again, and they indeed have many exciting details about them that you probably didn't catch in the show. The story in Bridgerton isn't just about the conversations being made. Most importantly, the costumes also say their own part, which blends with everything happening. At the beginning of season 3, Penelope doesn't change her wardrobe until there's a reason to do so. Like the first episode's title, Out of the Shadows, Penelope's costumes also reveal that the character was leaving her comfort zone. When she returns with her family, Pen is wearing a dress between yellow and green, hinting at the changes Penelope will make throughout the season. However, after that, the character steps back into her yellow dress, and even though many viewers don't notice it, the dress is more detailed and shinier than her past outfits. And that's because the Featheringtons, who used to struggle for money, had suddenly come into a good fortune. So before this was explained in the show, the dresses were already screaming it. Luckily for Penelope, more money for the family meant she could now express herself, which she did right after she went to the modist and decided to cancel all citrus colors. And when she changed into a green dress and appeared at the first ball held by Lady Danbury, her mother didn't notice it complemented Pen. Instead, she considered it a sad color, contrary to yellow, which meant happiness to Lady Featherington. But there's more to the outfits in the show's third season, which speaks a significant volume, starting with the beautiful balloon scene where everyone is present, including Lord Debling. In the balloon scene, many viewers missed some of the tiny details in the costumes. As the balloon mistakenly loosened and the men were trying to keep it from taking off, it started advancing towards the scared Penelope till Lord Debling came to her aid. However, in that scene, a closer look at Pen's dressings shows some round ornaments in her hair, and the costume designer explains that the round spheres in her hair were to match the balloon event happening in that scene. Even her necklace and earrings took the shape of a balloon, honoring the latest scientific discovery of balloon flights. Interestingly, it wasn't only Penelope who had this subtle detail. Some other characters like Philippa in the scene had round shapes on their costumes and even puffy sleeves, which was still to honor the balloon scene. Also, Cressida Cowper had some little tiny circles on her outfit, which were added to her hair as mini accessories that would have been easy to miss. Now, these balloon details on the dresses weren't just because of the occasion in that scene, it's also a reference to a Regency period when balloon flights were a big deal till they started inspiring balloon outfits. The balloon event in the third episode of Bridgerton 3 was quite common in that era, and you will see how the historical references to the balloon flight are similar to how it looks on screen. And of course, people were wearing clothes with balloons like hats, sleeves, and gowns, and the craze about balloons when it comes to outfits wasn't that obvious in the show, but a thorough look at the costumes will show little round patterns or accessories on the characters' dresses. Even in this modern age, balloon outfits still exist, indicating that Bridgerton loves mixing ancient and contemporary culture to create its designs. The Featheringtons coming into money doesn't just reflect in Penelope's wardrobe, as their mother, Lady Portia Featherington, has also leveled up, which many fans might miss. As the season opens up to the exciting faces of the ton, Lady Featherington also appears elegantly with her unique outfit called Spencer. While speaking about the costume that stood out the most to him this season, the costume designer, John Glazer, mentioned Portia's fashion detail, saying, "There's actually quite a lot, but on Lady Featherington, if you look at her closely, it's the first time that she's ever worn a Spencer. It's the first season that she's ever worn a jacket with her dresses." So Spencers are fitted jackets worn on outfits that are their own separate piece but always complement the rest of the dress. This dressing style started to trend in the late 1700s, and it still was very much in vogue in the early 1800s, which is when Bridgerton was set in. The unique jacket, Spencer, is named after its creator, George John Spencer, the second Earl Spencer. Before Spencer was produced, the longer form consisting of a jacket and tail was commonly worn. Unfortunately for George Spencer, the tail of one of his jackets caught fire, and he angrily trimmed it all to just jackets for convenience. Before women started to wear Spencers, the British military officers first had it included in their outfits till it became acceptable by all. Women who have come into money, like Lady Featherington, loved evolving fashions like Spencers, so the character happily accepted the style, and she didn't mind Penelope carving out her own taste too. Interestingly, that's not all Lady Featherington has in stock for viewers regarding fashionable dresses this season. According to costume designer Glazer, Lady Lady Featherington can be seen transforming into a real-life painting, meaning fans have yet to notice it all. Glazer said, "Truly, we've actually talked about paintings and flower gardens. Even though she's in dark colors, we've really tried to make her look like a painting. In case you didn't notice, most of the fabrics Lady Featherington wore are hand-painted." Glazer revealed that some of the jackets and dresses were painted, and if not, they tend to design them in ways that appear like paintings. He also mentioned that one of her costumes this season was made of pure white fabric, which was painted with 3D roses. Many viewers wouldn't know this, but much effort went into getting Lady Featherington dressed in season 3. Aside from the Featheringtons, whose costumes are transforming based on their newfound fortune, the Viscountess, Kate Bridgerton, also has a new look with some fascinating details. Season 3 isn't just about establishing Kate as one of the Bridgertons, but also to show that she's more than happy to express her Indian origin through her outfits. And when she later happened to see one herself, she had to bring her things to settle down as the new Viscountess. So Kate upgraded her wardrobe with pretty jewelry and different clothing styles, with some gowns having 3/4 sleeves lengths and dropping like a sari. Also, Indians are known for making bold jewelry statements, especially with bracelets. While attending a meaningful ceremony, Kate has started to wear big cuffs like that whenever she's at a ball. And she's not the only one now adorned in Indian accessories. She has also swayed Anthony. Some of his clothes now have Indian embroideries. The beauty is that Kate has also incorporated some of the Bridgerton styles and colors into her outfits since she became a married woman. Her dresses are beginning to take the shape and color of the former Viscountess, Violet Bridgerton. This also explains that Kate is gradually settling into the leading role as she prepares to take over the affairs of the Bridgerton household. And her clothes aren't the only things transforming in season 3. According to the hair and makeup stylist Erica, Kate was the kind of character who wouldn't allow maids to tend to her hair, so her hairstyles in season 2 were mostly the designs she made for herself, which still looked good. But being a Viscountess means more than enough maids are now at her service, and she has to involve their expertise in dressing up since many activities have taken her time since she got married. So her hairstyles are now very different because she has helpers styling them, but she still holds on to her freedom to explore whatever hairdo she chooses. Cressida Cowper is getting more screen time in season 3, and so are her gorgeous and puffy outfits, which also have their special meaning. In season 3, Cressida started to wear huge crested sleeves, and the showrunner, Jess Brownell, explained why. Jess said mean girls like Cressida aren't born that way. Instead, they develop their cruel attitude as they grow up, which is sometimes a reaction to actions they've been dealt with. In season 3, we learn that Cressida is from a strict home where her father treats her harshly by making her choose between finding a suitor or ending up in an arranged marriage with an old partner. So affection is something she never gets from home and isn't interested in passing on to others. The costume designer John Glazer also spoke about some of her costumes in the show, saying that Cressida's outfits are to make her seem like a caged bird, and her house was also described as too enclosed to resemble a mausoleum. So the aim was to portray Cressida as a wounded bird in a cage, which is why many viewers are now warming up to her after seeing what her life is all about. Cressida also wore big puffy sleeves to the Queen's Ball, influenced by Grecian, meaning ancient Greek history. Funnily enough, the sleeves are based on Grecian columns called Ionic. At this ball, Cressida also told Lord Debling that Colin and Pen are like Eros and Psyche, which is a powerful observation and statement. So her outfits are such enlightenments in season 3 that they show Cressida has evolved into a new person than previously portrayed. Another fashion detail you didn't quite catch this season was when Eloise wore a piece of clothing in her arm, which they called muff. The funny story behind this outfit is that Eloise was injured and was wearing a cast. And to cover it up, they had to invent that piece and add it to her costume. Many viewers found it strange, seeing as the show is set in summer, but now you know it was to cover up the cast-angled hand Eloise had. And it's so brilliant how Bridgerton is innovative in fashion and turns every low moment into a fanciful one with costumes, and they never miss it.